Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Industrial Faith. Welcome to episode 15 of Factorio 4X, your 15-minute Factorio fix. Now, we just finished putting up a radar on the other side of the island, or out on the side, because we kind of want to see what's going on around us. We're curious, and we just came back from whooping the crap out of a whole bunch of aliens, and getting a whole bunch of alien artifacts, etc., etc. So now I'm looking for something in my dump box. I'm not sure what I'm looking for here. Trains. That's right. I need to start building trains. And what I end up doing is, I'm also looking for to build new power armor. Power armor. That was an exoskeleton, so I can go faster. And now I just built a train. So there we go. Exoskeleton. Woo! Look at me go. It's even faster on the concrete. So good. So, I'm running like Carl Lewis. Yeah! Only in a big robot suit and not tanned or muscular. Just a robot. Supposedly your character's a robot. I have no idea. But that's how it goes. Train. Now, I can't figure out how to... At some point, I'm going to go into the controls here because I can't figure out how to load fuel into the train. However, the button at the upper left-hand corner of that screen, so I'm like, what the hell do I do? So I'm just going to have to use control. I still can't figure it out. But eventually, if you use control, you pick it up in your inventory, you use control left click, you can put something in there without having to open it up. I'll be using that a lot more. And I'm like, all right, let's just do it. Yay, coal. So now we get in. And it's fast. It is sick fast. And now I've got to figure out how I'm going to get it out. And first I'll put a curve, and then why? Just make it straight. I'll give up on the curve idea here in a minute because it's dumb. I'll just put it in a new gate. Oh, there's a manga by that name. It's pretty bizarre. So now I have to figure out where am I going? The base is down, down, down. Now, supposedly you can sit in the train and just drop track in front of you. Supposedly. I've never tried it. I'm sure I will at some point. So this is a giant deposit of iron ore. It's fantastic. There we go. Yay! Alright, we have a loop. My first train loop. Now, of course I don't have any stations. And now I'm out of concrete. I think that's the only concrete I put there. Whee! It literally moves so fast, it's ridiculous. So what I'm thinking of here is just where I'm trying to think where to run fuel from, because I want to set it up, or I'm trying to figure out where to drop off. Because at this point I'm not sure if I'm just going to pick up ore and smelt it on the island, but at the same time the island is already pretty much maxed for smelting, so it's so I wanted to see how long. Here I'm testing to see how long my accumulators could last, and looking at it I realized not long at all. So this one I reconnect everything so it works. So, and the steam engines came on because they were filling the accumulators, which I think is a neat little thing. The accumulators are a buffer. That's it. And I like that. It helps with lasers and all kinds of stuff. So that way, when you're running around the wasteland or the desert shooting stuff, you don't run out of electricity. Typically what'll happen is everything in your factory will slow down, stop working. That's kind of a pain in the butt. These headphones make noise when I move my head. It's kind of hilarious. It's very sensitive. Ah, yes. And I hear I'm trying to build more, what do you call it? Electric furnaces. Because in order to hopefully keep the attacks to a minimum, I'm going to use electric power. Hopefully. And that's what I finally noticed, that one wasn't working after all this time. Now, never having built a train station before, or an external ore depot, I've seen it. I've seen how it works, but I'm a little confused at the time. So I'm sort of, I don't know what I'm doing here. And it's so easy to go past. And I don't have any electricity down here. There we go. Now we can begin doing, stuff. So I'm trying to line up the. First, I think I clear off all the trees first, the dead trees. I'm trying to figure out exactly how I want to space this. As you can see, this thing is enormous. This is a huge, huge iron deposit. It's giant. Again, never having built one this big, I'm sort of, I don't know what to do. So I'm going to be trying out a lot of goofy stuff here. And you're just, if you're an experienced Factorio player, you're going to look at this and just be like, you're terrible, and that's fine. I don't mind. So here I'm just trying to figure out how am I gonna lay the furnaces? How do I want to do them? Where do I want to put them? And this is all just a matter of making everything fit better and to be the most economical space-wise. Because if I want to, I can make this thing just ridiculously big. And what I finally settle on is I just better start at the top. Let's measure from the top, see how much room I'm going to actually need. So here I'm laying them out, just measuring them beforehand because, well, now I'm like, well, now where do I put them? So this is half the fun of Factorios, is the constant exploring of where do you fit stuff, how do you do stuff, what's the best way to do it. And realistically, the best way to do stuff is somewhat of a misnomer. The best way to do stuff depends entirely on the situation. Now, there's very compact builds you can make, and you can always do those, but realistically it's sort of, well, what's the best way to do it? And the other way to say is, well, it depends. And that's really all that can be said. So here I'm trying to build sort of I guess you could say it's a cascade of material, and in the game, I can use the splitters as balancers, because you can use splitters to take resources from one line onto another, and then if you use the splitters, you can then use those to actually combine and to balance. So this is me measuring. Go! Now I've left a gap off the side because that's where I'm going to feed from. So, and there's also oil down there. So I could actually make this a pretty big depot. And I put some guns down here because, well, them aliens is unfriendly. There we go. Now, I don't have any cars to measure with. I have no way, and I also built this so there's no actual turnaround anywhere near the base. So in order for me to turn around, I have to go back to base, or I can, reverse. One could always reverse. Now, one of the things about trains is that there we go, I made the lunch boxes, is that they're actually longer on the horizontal plane than the vertical plane. It's just, because they're sprites, it's just one of those weird things. So again, I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do. Now, those lasers will only kill the barest of biter attacks. They're 2 lasers. It'll basically take out wandering guys. That's what it'll do. I think I'm going to get enough material to build cars because I need to. Yeah, I need to build. Why can't I remember what they're called? I need to build storage carts, train cars. Thank you. Oh my gosh, where's my brain? It's midnight. That's where my brain is. So at this point, I've decided where I'm putting the iron. I'm going to have the iron come in there. Unfortunately, that means I have to do a ton of terraforming. And I'm going to have to wrap the track around the southern side of the island. Now, I don't need a whole lot of iron, but that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go, where am I going to turn this? I don't know. Now, turns take up a lot of space, a lot of territory. So I got lucky with that one. I'm not going to lie. That thing fitting like that was entirely lucky. But thanks to Landfill, which I think should be added to Factorio proper, it's a fantastic, amazing mod. It's just one of those mods that it's like, how do you live without it? Especially since the game naturally generated this island. I didn't have any choice, hope, etc. / it just said, you've got it, you're on an island, have a nice day. It's like, ugh. And you know what? The train tracks are a fun puzzle too. I'm not going to lie. So, obviously, I don't want the water pumps getting hit by my train, although that would be entertaining, but sad. Again, another turn. Always a good time, though. I don't know if I'll ever be able to lay concrete on this thing. Probably not. It's a little too wonky for that. A little too oddly spaced, you could say. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're wrapping it up here. Thanks for joining me for another episode of Factorio 4X, your 15-minute Factorio fix. My name is Industrial Faith. Thanks for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Have a good night, and bye-bye.